As the Diddy trial progresses, a link has been made between the substances discovered in Liam Payne's autopsy report and the recreational AUTOPSY, often known as pink candy, which Diddy utilized in his well-known freak-offs. This might mean that One Direction's beloved Liam Payne's death is finally coming to an end. Let's begin. While on vacation with his girlfriend, Kate Cassidy, at the Casa Pelio Hotel in Buenos Aires, Liam fell off the balcony and died in October of last year. Even though Liam had been very forthcoming about his struggles with mental health and his occasional substance abuse, he now appeared to be doing well and enjoying himself with Kate, who regrettably had to return home 2 days before his untimely death.
Hey everybody, here's a little video of me. It's rude to put hats on the table.
Sorry.
Is this your hat?
Yeah.
Children. It's a lovely day here in Argentina. This is the breakfast table.
I'm just eating an orange.
Just enjoying coffee and breakfast, even though it's like 1 p.m.
Literally, we sleep in every day until at least 12. We're such losers.
No.
No.
Police discovered Liam's third-floor hotel room, which was strewn with drugs and booze when they arrived on the scene. Burned foil, broken bottles, a shattered television, and an unidentifiable powder-like material were all around the room. Because of the burned foil, authorities were able to validate their suspicions of drug use, but they were unable to determine what substance it was used for.
Photos shared with ABC News by UK news outlet ITN appear to show drug paraphernalia and a smashed TV inside Payne's hotel room. Plus, in a 911 call, a hotel manager calls for help, saying there's a guest who's drunk on drugs and alcohol, breaking everything in the room. And he says he's fearing for the guest's life because of the balcony.
The hotel personnel reported in guests to the police twice in the hours prior to Liam's fall. A hotel employee made the initial call at approximately 5 p.m., stating that they feared one of their visitors was intoxicated. The caller introduced himself as the hotel's chief receptionist and clarified that the visitor was misbehaving and damaging the room. The same hotel employee informed the dispatcher during a follow-up call that the visitor was under the influence of drugs and posed a risk to himself because he was standing so close to the balcony.
Emergencia.
Hola.
911, ¿dónde es emergencia?
Hola, buenas tardes. Mira, te estoy llamando del Hotel Casa Sur Palermo, que queda en Costa Rica 6032.
6032, ¿está entre Arevalo y Kramer?
Sí, correcto. Entre Arevalo y Dorrego, creo que es. Bueno, nada, tenemos un huésped que está sobrepasado de droga y está rompiendo toda la habitación. Así que necesitamos que venga alguien.
Entiendo, me dice entonces que es agresivo. Señor, ¿me repite el nombre del hotel, por favor? Señor.
Liam had already passed away when the dispatcher reached the scene. Given Diddy's experiments with the recreational substance pink candy, also known as AUTOPSY, the broader public is now aware of it, and they are making connections. In particular, Liam's behavior prior to his passing was remarkably comparable to AUTOPSY's negative effects. Reports indicate that these symptoms, which might vary in severity, include a great deal of anxiety, unusual ideas or bewilderment, and seeing or hearing things that aren't there. This same purported designer chemical was discovered in Diddy's possession when he was arrested in New York. Additionally, AUTOPSY was brought up in Rod's harassment complaint against Diddy. Rod's accusation described how Diddy coerced Tushin into engaging in illegal activities. Little Rod further said that every member of the Diddy Company's staff, including the chefs, butlers, and housekeepers, was expected to carry a fanny pack pouch with AUTOPSY and other drugs. Rod also confirmed that Carisha, Diddy's ex-girlfriend, who worked for Diddy as one of the freak-off girls, helped move AUTOPSY over state lines. In a modified lawsuit, Rod detailed an instance in which he saw Diddy do a few AUTOPSY lines in his dressing room and asked for more. Regretfully, his acquaintance is a well-known drug dealer. Brandon Paul neglected to pack more baggage. Christina Carorum, Diddy's head of staff, called Carisha from Miami shortly after Liam's death made headlines. A waiter who was suspected of giving him drugs at his hotel was arrested. However, this man refuted the claims that he gave Liam any illegal substances. He claims that Liam already had it on him and even made a request of him, which he turned down.
No le suministré drogas. Con Liam nos conocimos, él me contactó en lo que es mi trabajo. Ahí nos pasamos lo que es el contacto, y nos vimos, sí, ahí nos juntamos, él me mostró un poco de su música, de la música que iba a sacar adelante.
Because of Liam's relationship with Pink Candy, many people are curious about how he initially obtained the drug. Additionally, this is causing a tape from Liam's Graham Norton show interview to reappear. Liam talks about a terrifying experience he had with Diddy in the episode. He claimed that at one point, he couldn't decide whether to approach Leonardo DiCaprio or Diddy Jay-Z. He then said that he was afraid of Diddy, indicating that he had mistakenly believed that Diddy would be the safer choice among the three icons. Fans are talking about that right there, you guys.
P. Diddy. I went over to say hello to P. Diddy, and Jay-Z was there, and Leonardo DiCaprio was sat.
All right, I think you've dropped enough names. I think people thought Prince and Brian Ferry was good. We don't need to hear about other people who are in the room. Just stick on the people the story's about.
So I went over and I thought, I was trying to think who's the easy target in this scenario, who's the one that you go to say the hello, and I'm thinking, I saw him and get him to the Greek, I'm going to go over there and say hello to him, so I thought, P. Diddy. So I went out to shake his hand, and I shook his hand, and I was, oh, nice to meet you, and he's just going, but the longest handshake ever. And I'm like sat there just looking in P. Diddy's eyes like, when is this going to end? And then the worst of it happened. There was a whole thing with Jay-Z, and I went to lean in to speak to him. But you can't lean in to speak to Jay-Z. You're not allowed to lean in. And his bodyguard just like shoved me like this, and I went flying across the room. And I was like, right, I'm just going to go and sit over here with Eddie Goldman tonight. Thank you, that's enough.
Liam was allegedly singled out to be used as one of Diddy's boy toys. Additionally, according to some reports, he was about to divulge everything and needed to be kept quiet. You make your own decision, since I'm not sure how much of what is being said is real. I'm only relaying it. The ex-fiancée of Liam, Maya Henry, provided some context for these accusations. She said that months before Liam passed away, after their split, he kept asking her for assistance. She claimed that Liam would phone her and claim that his life was in danger and that he was about to die. But she never took him seriously since. She was writing a book about their relationship and believed Liam's pleas for assistance were an attempt to delay the publication of her book.
He would always message me ever since we broke up, like, oh, I'm not well. He would always play with death and be like, well, I'm gonna die. I'm not doing well. I know the lifestyle he lives, and there is a day where something bad is going to happen. So I would always be like, okay, he's saying these things. I have to help him, because if I don't, I will never be able to live with myself if something does happen to him. He would text my mom, I'm not doing well, have Maya contact me, because I wouldn't respond. And it's just always the same cycle. Like, for example, when I announced my book, he did the same thing. He told my mom, I think I'm not gonna be around much longer. And I don't play with death. So I'm like, if you say this, I'm gonna try and help you no matter what you've done. And I think he took advantage of my family's kindness. And I was like, if you want to go back to rehab, I'll help you.
The revelations continue from there, including warnings from a friend that Liam might die by suicide or under mysterious circumstances.
Coming out, even one of his friends was calling me and my mom being like, oh, you know, this isn't a good time for him. I don't think you should put the book out. You know, he's not doing well. And if something happens to him, not only are you going to blame yourself, but the whole world's going to blame you. And so I was like, just the fact that they just keep trying, I'm like, it is, like you said, such a low manipulation tactic.
There is still a lot to learn about Liam's awful and premature death. Child, and many people have different perspectives on it, such as the individual who stated, I knew his death had something to do with Diddy because the way he passed out of nowhere and had it happen was so weird. It was after the interview and after Diddy finally got caught. A different individual responded. If Liam was willing to say publicly that he is fearful of Diddy, what would he have told investigators privately who are building evidence against Diddy? For example, he had to be silent at the moment. These statements are so outrageous, the precise truth. However, we would want to hear your opinions on this matter. Please share your thoughts and conclusions in the comments below. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons for future posts like this one. For the most recent information about celebrities, watch the upcoming video as well.